What's up, everybody? It's your boy Adam. It is the 5-week grind challenge, and it's day 5, but it's first thing in the morning here. First thing for me, second thing for me. I got up around 8:45 again in the morning, which it's not 11, so that's good. I wouldn't call it a grind, but I did jump right out of bed and get laundry going right off the bat. It's washing right now, so I didn't just sit around after getting out of bed. I got the laundry going, I did a couple of other things, and then for 15 minutes, and now it's 9 o'clock, and I'm shooting a video update. So yesterday was a full day, and let's see, so same thing. I had a client meeting at 9. I wanted to get up at like 7 in the morning. Hold on, it's too early. Get me a little coffee, help wake myself up. Yesterday I got up at 9. I had a client meeting. Or I got up at 8:45, jumped right into that meeting after getting some coffee, of course, and all of that. And when my client meeting was over, I did the timer trick again, and set a timer to do 1 hour of cleaning the house. Sometimes, I'm probably going to do it today, but I think I'm feeling more tired this morning than yesterday morning. The gym workouts are killing me. All the workouts, the cycling and the gym. My mornings are just, and so I'm debating what I'm going to do after I do this video. I'm either going to get up, set a timer, and force myself to do some chores and move around, and then sit down and focus on my work. Or I will sit here for a couple hours and focus on my work, and then get up and move around and do some stuff around the house. Yesterday it actually helped me get energetic by doing an hour of chores. I had brewed 7 half-gallon bottles of cold brew coffee the night before, and so I filtered all of those. That takes time. Got my laundry finished, and I actually the timer finished in an hour, but the laundry wasn't quite done, ready to be hung up on the clothesline to dry. And so that's another thing I'll mention. If you're going to do the timer trick where you set a timer to, you say, I'm going to force myself to do this thing for an hour. When that hour is over, if there's something that you're in the middle of that, say, you could finish if you just put 5 to 10 more minutes into it, don't think that just because the timer went off, I'm done. If you're in the middle of making your bed because you're doing an hour of chores, right? You don't just need to toss your sheets onto the bed and be like, all right, I'm out. It's over. I'm done. Finish making your bed. Because when you go to bed tonight, you'll feel good. Some beds are easier to make than others. Mine, it's a pain. It's actually having an effect. The position and where my bed is has an effect on how many times a week I actually make the bed. In my old house, I had a bed that was in the middle of the room. You could completely walk up against a wall, but you could completely walk around both sides of the bed. So making the bed was very easy. Just, you had full access to everything and you could reach everything. This bed, I have to pull the end table out to give myself room to slide the bed out from the wall. And I can barely fit between the bed and the wall to begin with. There's all kinds of boxes and stuff stored under the bed, so those have to move and everything just gets... But anyway, it's a process. And it's enough of a pain in the ass that it actually keeps me from wanting to do it regularly. So it usually takes like 3 days or so of me kicking and tossing and turning and whatever I do to throw everything all over the place to wake up in the morning and be like, all right, I can't do this again. That day would be today. And so I didn't do it yesterday, but I got the laundry finished. My point with that is, if you're in the middle of something like that you can finish just by putting in a few more minutes, do it. Yesterday, that was my laundry. I wasn't going to just, timer's up, and walk away from the washing machine with clothes still in it. I put them in the spin cycle thing and hung them up to dry. And so that was an extra 15 minutes probably. Yay, got more done. But then I felt good. I got up, I was walking around. I'm already starting to feel a little better just from drinking a little coffee. Oh my God. It makes such a difference. Being active before you take on the day. It's probably why, productivity guru David Goggins, he wakes up at 4 a.m. and goes for a 100-mile jog before he starts his day, normal people stuff. But I'm sure he feels a lot better when he sits down to tackle the challenges of the day after getting up at 4 a.m. and going on a 100-mile jog. I know that I feel a lot better when I work at the bakery if I ride my bicycle there. I don't want to ride my bicycle there until I'm about halfway there. And then I'm like, all right, this isn't so bad. I can get down with this. In an hour and a half bike ride, it takes me about half an hour, 45 minutes before I'm fine with it. When I arrive at the bakery, I'm glad I did it. In terms of, biking versus driving, I always feel better when I bike there. So there is something to be said. That's why I'm debating maybe getting off my ass here in a minute and going to do some chores before I sit down to do my stuff in front of the computer today. So yesterday I got that laundry done. I made really good progress on a client project, and I got past a designer's block where there was this one page. Client made a decision, made a request that made this one area of the page look bad. And it, no big deal. It's my job to make it look good after that decision was made. And it wasn't it wasn't a decision I disagreed with. I just, the area of the web page looked good. And then we threw this other stuff in the same space. And I'm like, sucks. So I had to sit with it for a while and mess with it. But like I said, it's my job to make it look good. So I did some iterations and some ideas and just kept banging on it and trying different things. And finally, I even asked an AI bot for some ideas, which really didn't help a lot. But it just kind of told me what, I disagreed with it, but I just kept shuffling things around until I finally was like, all right, I can deal with this. I was late putting out an invoice Sunday. I burned myself out on Sunday. That was the last thing on my list. I put it off till yesterday, but I got it done. Did some financial organizing. Even though I'm poor and I'm broke, I talk about reconciling accounts. And even though I'm broke, when I came out of prison, I had one account, cash. But that was when I created my accounting tool in Notion using I didn't want to pay for accounting software because I was broke. B, Notion was free. And it supports building a relational database. C, I thought I could, do a little tutorial and teach myself some things because I generally know how an accounting tool is supposed to work. D, whatever. I don't like most accounting software that's out there now. And so I decided to make my own. And I've been using that ever since that day. So I've been using Notion since the day I came home to do this. And I have every transaction from anything I've done since. But when I came out, I had cash. Then I found out I had a checking account that I still had. I still had a PayPal account that worked. And then I discovered some of my stock photo websites where I sell my photography had money sitting there. Not a lot. A couple $100. But I was able to use that to get it into PayPal. And then I used PayPal to get it into this checking account that I had never closed. I was picking up the broken pieces of a shattered life. And so by the time I was homeless, I had a checking account, a PayPal account, 2 stock photography accounts, and cash. So I had 5 accounts to juggle in my accounting tool. And then I had an EBT card and whatever, public assistance was a separate account. So I had 2 more accounts there. Then I had to open up a checking account locally in Jamestown because I needed to have an actual bank account there for something. I've been broke the whole time, but, I started doing YouTube. I got monetized. I had to create a Google AdSense account. Started doing freelance accounts receivable for that. So things just add up over time. I moved to Texas. I closed a few accounts. I opened a checking account in Houston. Now it's at the point where there's, oh man, how many are there? There's a lot. I'm not even going to open it up. I know there are over 20 accounts now that I have to keep track of. And there could be like pennies moving around. Be like, oh, I got $5 from a stock photo site last week, or something like that. But I have to track all this stuff now in this accounting system. And so now it takes more time. If I keep up with it once a week, an hour a week. If I go 3 weeks without updating it and reconciling it, forget about it. That's like 4 to 8 hours of my life gone. So you got to keep up with it. It's a snowball effect. Neglect it for a week, you're in about an hour to fix it. Neglect it for 3 weeks, you lost a day of your life because it just snowballs out of control. And there's all, just to record, for example, just to send an invoice to a client and get paid for it and have all of that reconciled. It's so many transactions. It's a transaction to send the invoice. Accounts receivable gets added this much money. Accounts receivable in a business, if you don't know, if you're not a business person, that just means that's what people owe you. So when you send a bill to a client, you enter a number into the fictitious account. It's not a bank account. It's literally called a receivables account. It's just an accounting of money that people owe you. So I send a client an invoice that goes to accounts receivable, money I'm owed. When I get paid, I receive that money. That money, most of the time lately, goes into Square, a credit card processing company. So that's a transfer. In my system, that results as a transfer from accounts receivable to credit card processor. But that's 2 transactions. You have to record the outgoing and the incoming transaction. So it's out from accounts receivable and incoming transaction into the credit card processor. So that's 3 transactions now. Credit card processor takes a fee. That's 4 transactions. They take the fee out of the payment that you just got. Then they transfer that money to your checking account. That's 2 transactions, an outgoing and an incoming. Now it's in your checking account. So that's 6 transactions that you have to enter to make your books correct. when you get paid by somebody. And so, like, it's a pain in the ass. A good accounting software that would reduce that down to about 3 entries that you make, but it would still be listed as 6 transactions. But when you do a transfer, if you mark it as a transfer from here to there, behind the scenes, the software will enter all the appropriate stuff because each account has its own ledger. So you have to record money went out of this account and came into this account. It's the same thing if you pay a credit card with a checking account. You mark it as a transfer because you're actually taking money from here, putting it there. That's the proper way to do it. If you don't do it like that, it'll make your everything will be a complete mess. And it's a lot easier to do than it sounds. It's actually really easy to use, and it's real easy to do. I really never have the only problems that I have with this database are when Notion itself is buggy. But every software application that you use these days is a bug-riddled piece of trash. And this isn't the video series for me to talk about that. Tune into the live stream on Wednesdays if you want to hear me rant about that, because that happens all the time. So for my place here, you can see I've been working on it. I just got myself a couch, and that was the final piece of the puzzle in terms of laying out my space to make this tiny... I don't think I can call this a tiny space, a tiny house, because I literally lived in a fucking tool shed that you could buy at Home Depot. And that thing was terrible. I don't even know if you could call that a tiny house would be a palace compared to that thing. The Unabomber's cabin that they found, Ted Kaczynski, when they found him out in the woods living in a tiny little cabin, my tool shed was like one step above that, barely. And so that's how I was living. So this place feels like a mansion compared to that. But most people would consider this a small... I don't know if a small house. I don't think you could... A tiny house... I feel like this is bigger than a tiny house. I'm just saying, I've watched those HGTV shows where these yuppie couples go look at a tiny house and they're like, oh, it's only $175,000 for this 30 square foot tiny house. Wow, that's a steal. Yeah, sounds real fucking great, Karen. So, anyway, I made my small house complete in terms of the layout and my vision that I had when I moved in here. Granted, I've been living here. My lease will be up at the end of next month, so I've got one more rent payment and my lease is paid. But I can still keep living here. I'm not, like, supposed to leave. Believe me, they're not going to be in a hurry for me to leave at the end of my lease. And things will just keep on keeping on month to month. And that'll be great for me, because I can take my time. I can find the place that's right for me. And I don't have to be... I was in a panicked rush trying to find a new place to live for the 5th time in the span of a year that I had to pack everything and move. 4 or 5 times in 1 year. That was rough. So when I got here, I was like, I'm here and I'm not moving. Not for the year that not for that lease. I have no intention of leaving. So, but now I can look and see if I can find a better place and see if I can play the field. I can be calm and patient and kind of just see what's out there, and when the right opportunity comes along, good. But until then, I can make this place as comfortable as possible. At which point I got a couch. Well, my bathroom is still a little bit cluttered and still hard to keep organized, and it's because I don't have any shelving. This place is completely devoid of storage space. That was one problem when I moved in here. So I ordered 2 shelf units for the bathroom. A set of shelves to mount on the wall. They're about 16 inches wide. And a set of shelves to mount to the back of the door. And between the 2 of those, I'm going to have plenty of space for the rest of the time that I live here to keep stuff organized and tidy and all that. So I'm good. Those showed up today. So, I can take a cordless drill and a screwdriver and have at it later today. And then I feel like with just a little bit of elbow grease, I'll take you all on a tour of the place. I know some of you OGs that have been following me since the homeless days on the streets would like, oh, wow. Huh. Okay. Anyway, I was just noticing something. So, yeah, organizing. Once I get that done, I'll take y'all on a tour. I have some photographs of what this place looked like when it was completely empty before I moved in. I probably have a video of the first day here before I started unpacking and organizing. And I know I took you on a video tour after I got everything unpacked and kind of settled in to where you could see, here's my spot. But it's a lot better now. A lot better now. But I'm pretty much at the limit of what I can do to this place in terms of space. I'm down to where I can just do storage hacks. Got some more bicycle shorts and gloves yesterday. Had to make sure that the XXXL bicycle shorts fit me properly. I was expecting that they would just fall off and be really loose and baggy and be no, that was... And unfortunately, when I put those things on, I was like, oh my God, these fit absolutely perfect. Not the large, not the extra large, not even the extra, extra large, but the extra, extra, extra large bike shorts were the ones. And look, the scale doesn't lie. And the big mirrors that are everywhere you look at the gym do not lie. So that's important. That's why they're there. So... you notice I'm not posting selfies from the gym all over my social media, am I? No. So, but then yesterday, what else did I do? I did a live stream for 3 hours for the channel members. So if you're not a channel member yet and you want to hang out, Las Vegas rules apply on the members only live stream. Whatever happens in the members-only live stream stays in the members-only live stream. We do get into some conversations, and, you thought I didn't have a filter to begin with. Well, you'd find out that I might. And, but aside from that, it's $2 a month for crying out loud. I don't even know. You can get 2 things off the dollar menu at McDonald's, or you can be a channel member for a whole month and you get 3 to 4 members only streams. You get early release of the videos where you don't have to watch ads. You can watch my whole video for 2 days before I switch it to, the peasants, so that you peasants can watch it with the ads turned on. Is it worth $2 a month? Of course it is. But whatever. I'm not gonna, that's my begging for the day. That's my plug, oh yeah, give me the thumbs up and all that. Because, YouTube's algorithm, you need to say that. So yeah, extra, extra, extra large bicycle shorts came today. So I am all kitted up for the season. Much better cycling shorts than the ones I had already. So, and they were only $20. They were on sale. That's why I ordered a second pair. For $20 bicycle shorts, honestly, they're the best. They're not the best bicycle shorts I've ever owned, But the best bicycle shorts I've ever owned are like $130 a pair. And those are actually cheap in the cycling world. So for $20 to get some shorts that are actually pretty good, I'm okay with that. Went grocery shopping after the members only live stream, and from around 9:30 to 11 o'clock at night last night, I got a few plants. That's what I was looking at a planter that I got for a plant that's in my bathroom, and I'm looking at how absolutely huge it is compared. I thought it was the same size as this other one that I'm looking at that I had just transplanted a plant into. And now I'm looking at this really big one, and I'm like, that might be way too big for the plant that I want to put in it. And I don't even know if I have. That might have been a mistake. I don't know if I'm going to return it, but that one might be one that I put outside, to be honest, and put something in it, like on my steps outside or something. I don't know. I just noticed that. That's why I looked over there and had this weird look on my face. And then I got a couple of small plants that were on sale, house plants. I don't like fake plants. And so I've got one plant that I replanted a couple of weeks ago. And it looked like it was in bad shape because it outgrew its pot really bad. And then when I replanted it, it just, oh my God, I'm going to sneeze, I think. No, maybe not. Okay, good. There was a money tree, and it seemed like, it just looked like, when I repotted it, it was just like, oh, like it was about to die. And now all of a sudden it's coming back. So, okay, I got it in a pretty good spot, and now I'm seeing, like, I can actually see day-to-day improvement on this thing. It's actually starting to snap back to life, and so those things can grow really big. Those things can get like 10 feet tall if you let them grow. That would be kind of cool to have a plant like that. Let's see. So the grocery shopping, they sell plants at the grocery store. So, but so here's a handy tip: grocery shopping. Do not go grocery shopping. 2 tips. Don't go grocery shopping on an empty stomach. Every time I do that, it's a mistake. Eat something. Eat something. Like, you do not want to go to grocery shopping hungry. You will, combined with the other tip, and that is make a list. Make a list. Now, I did have a list. It wasn't a good list, but it was a good enough list. So I went to the grocery store with a list, generally knew what to go get. But it was a list that I did really fast without putting a lot of thought into it. I just kind of skimmed through. I have a checklist because I always buy the same things over and over again. So it's a checklist with all the things I ever buy on it. And I just uncheck the things that I need. And so I'm like, yeah, I need that. Bang, 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 bang. I just kind of skimmed through that list and made a real quick, not super thought out grocery list. But if I had gone to the grocery store without a list last night, that would have been dangerous. That I would have just made the dumbest decisions, come home missing a bunch of stuff. Like, it was ridiculous. In terms of, like, healthy eating, twofold. I did get, like, I'm trying to find healthier stuff, so I did get I got bigger bulk packs of yogurt, like bigger containers of yogurt. Now that I experimented with some of the little yogurt things to see if there was anything, because I'm kind of like, on yogurt. Well, I found some that I like. And I found, like, I got some of the yogurts with the stuff that you mix in with them and whatnot that's all pre-packaged like that. And I'm thinking, why don't I just because I had some granola at home and I took a plain yogurt, threw some granola in it. Oh, that's pretty good. So why don't I just get a bunch of plain yogurt and a bunch of stuff to mix with it, random stuff, just so if I'm in a mood I got some dark chocolate chips, peanut butter chips, granola, I got dried fruits, different kinds of dried fruits, more than one kind of granola, just all kinds of different stuff to try mixing with yogurt to see what I like. And so like a handful of some chocolate chips isn't going to be mixed with some yogurt. I mean, that's better than a freaking tub of Ben and Jerry's at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing when I was homeless. On your dime, on my EBT card. Because, you know, there was only so many things I could get. I could go to 7-Eleven, CVS, and a pizza joint on my EBT card in Jamestown. So it wasn't like I had a plethora of healthy options to eat. But the problem is I was hungry when I went to the grocery store. And when I got in the car to go home, I was like, oh, you're good. Don't do it, Adam. Don't do it, Adam. And I couldn't stop myself. There was an Arby's on the way home, and I'm like, oh, God, you're going to do it. But I didn't know exactly where it was, and it's on a really busy road. And I ended up passing the Arby's, and I'm like, oh. But then I was even hungrier. I was like, oh, man, there's only one place left. One place. Oh, God, don't do it. Don't do it. McDonald. And that place, oh my God. So I went to freaking McDonald's, man, last night. I feel awful about it. Like, one bag of McDonald's can undo 6 months of going to the gym, I swear. It's like, it's not my kryptonite. Well, it's not like I had a desire to go there. What I had a desire for was to come home, put my groceries away, and go sit down. And like, I was so tired, I couldn't take yogurt and I was way hungrier than yogurt, number one. And I would have had to make something. And I didn't have, like, somebody left a comment on a video the other day saying, well, everybody's got an hour to make some food. No, not everybody has an hour to make some food. That's the point that I was making in the video that he commented on. Some people are busy, and an hour to make a meal before you even eat the meal, some people don't have that much time because you're too busy doing other things. That's why our society is full of fast food and junk boxes and just prepared shit food that is poisoning us, because we're all, you know, maybe when I get my act together a little bit better, I will have an hour to make a meal, to do this, to do that, do food prep, cooking, eating, and then cleaning. You put all that together, that could be 2 hours, 3 hours out of your day to make a fucking one meal. So, no, I don't have time. So, that was the thing last night. I was debating it. I was like, you could make some chicken sandwiches. You could do all kind. But I'm like, it's going to make a mess. It's going to take time. I just want to eat when I get home. So, McDonald's it is. McDonald's it is. So that was the bad thing about yesterday. That was the black mark on my day. Obviously, McDonald's is not going to do anything to help me get down into the extra large bicycle shorts, to where the extra large bicycle shorts no longer fit me and are just baggy and loose. I would like to get to the point where I can't wear them anymore because they're just too big. And McDonald's is not the path for that. So when it came down to the end of the day, and I'm giving myself a rank for every day on how productive I felt like I was, I gave yesterday a 7. Day 4 of the 35-day challenge, I gave it a rank of 7. I got a lot done. I didn't get up at the time that I wanted to, but I still did get up, and I was working and productive at 9 a.m. So, 9 to 5 or whatever. Well, I was productive from 9 a.m. all the way up until 11 p.m. doing all kinds of stuff. And all of it was productive. I really didn't take a break, but I'm giving myself a downgrade because I ate McDonald's. Like that. That's definitely 2 points off, right off the top. No matter how productive you were, eating a bag of McDonald's sends you back 2 points. Like right off the bat. I could have made food. I could have done something better there. So 35-day grind, that bag of McDonald's is probably why I feel so horrible this morning, to be honest. So don't do it. Day 3 yesterday, I gave myself, or day 3 was Monday, 2 days ago, I gave myself a 7. But that's because I got up at 5:45 in the morning, rode my bicycle 25 miles to the bakery job, worked at the bakery for 8 hours doing a lot of work, manual labor. I was pretty tired from that. And then a super fast bicycle ride home, hitting 27 miles an hour a lot of the way, and an average of 17 isn't bad. And then I still did an hour of house cleaning, but I still gave myself a 7. Mainly because when you spend 8 hours busting your ass at a place like a bakery job where you don't make a lot of money, you're being really super productive for somebody else, but I gotta be super productive for me. If I put that much time in and that much effort in for me, doing my thing, doing my business, that would pay off a lot more than doing it for somebody else. So that was why I can't give that a 10. Day 2 was Sunday. I gave it a 5 because I slept in. I slept half the day away. I still did a lot of stuff for the time I was awake, and I into the night. And I got my bicycle ready and packed up and everything ready to do the next day's stuff. So 5, that's the best I could do. And that was mostly because of how long I slept in the morning. Last Saturday, which is the first day, I gave it a 6. Because I did get up early. I went to the gym for 3. I worked out for 4 hours. Got my hair cut. Did grocery shopping. Again, not full grocery shopping, but just rotisserie chicken and a couple of doodads that I needed. It wasn't like the full grocery run like last night. Did a little bit of light work at my computer desk. But around 5 in the afternoon, I was done. Done for the day. Didn't do anything after 5. So that, that was a rank of a 6. So today, I don't know. I just got started. It's half an hour into the day. 45 minutes. Got laundry started. Did a video for you guys. And from there, I don't know what day 5 is going to bring. But I'll report in tomorrow or the next day. I might not do one of these update videos every day, but we'll see how it goes. And with that, I'm just going to say peace out, and I'll let you know how it's going as it goes.